My first day driving back on campus here when I moved here this year, I just took a look at it and I was like, wow, it looks so abandoned. It was all overgrown. It was just in horrible shape as it is today. Like that's how I found out about it, and I was completely shocked.
Shorewood Golf Course at the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay announced their permanent closure July 2021. Since then, the course has deteriorated to the condition it sits in today. Prior to its closing, it was held in high regard with the students and community alike.
Shorewood was a place that my friends and I could take our bikes to from the neighborhood. We lived about 3-4 miles away. We could take our bikes here and just spend all day here.
I only golfed it a couple times here while I was going to school before they closed it all down and everything, but I thought it was a pretty nice course. I like golfing there. I have no complaints about it. I mean, aesthetically, it looked really pretty prior to everything now.
However, the warning signs of potential closure could be seen during its operation due to budgetary constraints the university faced.
While UWGB owned it, it was a whole different budgetary situation, obviously, than when it was a standalone 18-hole course. When the college bought the property and turned it into a 9-hole course 50 years ago, they were left with a certain amount of acreage that they had to cram 9 holes into. For the most part, it's kind of a conglomeration of available property into what we knew as Shorewood for the last 50 years. There was never a big enough budget to do, for instance, real high-quality sand in the traps or tightly mown greens. It was never a course that was going to be awesome as far as conditions, but it was always in decent shape. It was always something where certainly beginners always felt welcome here because it's not all that long, not a ton of sand, not a ton of water, but there's certainly enough to catch your attention. Under UWGB's ownership, it had always been a fun little 9-hole course.
That fun little 9-hole course now sits barren, hardly recognizable or usable in its current state.
Obviously, they haven't upkept the course at all in months. The grass is unplayable. You can't play on it. The greens are irreversibly screwed up now. They're just totally destroyed, and that's a lot of money right there just thrown into that alone. The course looks really bad. It's completely unplayable, and at this point, I almost think there's no turning back. You can't fix this golf course.
The university's handling of the closing was criticized heavily, citing the inconsistencies in their communication with the public from when the initial temporary closing of Shorewood began.
From the information given, I'll be honest, that sounds like a pretty poor way to handle the situation. Obviously, they were already out of the money, and if initially they planned on not running it for a while until they found a new course manager to run it, that does make sense. But if you go along, they should have been doing some sort of upkeep or some maintenance on the course while they were doing this process in case of not finding a course manager like they did. Because now they're left here with a big plot of land that's basically worth nothing that they got to find something to do with.
As of today, Shorewood remains closed with no intentions of reopening. UWGB Chancellor Michael Alexander states the former course will be used for a future project involving a student recreation and engagement center with no timetable given.
I'd pretty much just say what made you neglect all upkeep on the course? I understand it does take money to do that, but I feel like you would have saved more money essentially keeping it up and having the value in just the area than just let it run and rot into what it is now.
For now, the course will persist as an overgrown wasteland, a painful reminder of what once was Brown County's second oldest course.